Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the June 10th, 2017 Vinyl Treasure Show on this hot day here in New York City. Got up and it's a little humid and warm. It's getting too warm for your host, Johnny G. Hopefully I am sounding a lot better opening up the show this evening than I did last weekend with the change in my microphone. I have to thank Hi-Fi Tim for a good thing I rechecked it this tonight. I forgot to save the changes, so I went in and I saved it, and I also fixed my Ustream broadcaster, so I got to thank Tim for that too. But I'm here for a Saturday evening spinning 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. We opened up with a group from Fort Lee, New Jersey. You know their signature song was called Short Shorts, first released on the Power record label, picked up by ABC Paramount, where it became their biggest hit. I just featured their second on the Power label. I'm talking about the Royal Teens, that one there from March 1959. Mad Gas is the name of the tune. It's on the Power label, as I mentioned. So enough of my babbling here. Let's start off with the vocal portion. We open up tonight's Vinyl Treasure Show with a group out of Newark, New Jersey. They had 4 releases on Bobby Robinson's Fury record label. This is their second. It features Pearl McKinnon on lead. This was number 32 on WMGM here in New York City. It's from the year 1958, May 58. Give a listen to the Kodaks. The Kodaks on Fury with their cool tune, song titled Oh Gee, Oh Gosh.
Won't you tell me what you think of?
I want you to love me. There's no one above me. Love me the way you love me best. I will hold and squeeze you tight, morning, afternoon, and night. Loving you will be my happiness. All my love is yours to take. Kisses taste like angel cake. Hope my kisses taste as good to you.
That's the sound of Pearl McKinnon and the Kodaks to open up The Vinyl Treasure Show this evening, May 1958. Bobby Robinson's Fury record label. Oh, gee, oh, gosh is the name of that one. Remember hearing that one quite often on the Gus Gossard Show when he was on WPIX. I don't remember when he was on CBS FM, but I think he was fired from CBS FM. But I remember seeing that commercial on WPIX TV, the curly-headed kid in the third row, I think, or was it the second row? I'm getting confused with the other disc jockey. But anyway, that's a cool tune by the Kodaks. Open up the vocal portion here. Let's stay in New York City. This time we go to George Gollner's Rama record label. Got a few Rama releases for tonight's show. And this girl group had 3 releases on the Rama label. Their lead singer, prior to joining this group, was the female lead for the Charmers, recorded for the Central record label. Her name is Vicki Burgess. And the other 2 gals, they are Margaret Moore and Barbara Brown. Collectively, they were known as the Joy Tones. Here's the second of 3 from August of 1956. With Jimmy Wright and the orchestra blaring the tenor saxophone on this one. Give a listen to the Joy Tones on Rama with a song titled Gee, What a Boy. Vicki Burgess and the Joy Tones. They had the second of 3 on George Gollner's Rama record label, August 1956. They had the Joy Tones with Gee, What a Boy. Gotta say hello to Geronimo listening over in Edinburgh, Texas. Gotta say also hello to Andrew Turner and Donald McGee tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show this evening. Let's continue here. We count down the music chronologically here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Love this next group. They're out of Baltimore, Maryland. Recorded 8 on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy label. Their biggest R&B hit was their first release from 1950 called I Will Wait. Here is their 6th, written by the lead singer. His name is Larry Harrison. Larry Harrison on lead. I'm talking about the 4 Buddies. We go back to May 1952. The 4 Buddies on Savoy. Their tune called You're a Part of Me.
What if she come back and say, darling, I miss you so much. You never know always. You will be part of me.
Early sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there, May 1952. Those are the Four Buddies. The Four Buddies on Savoy. You're a Part of Me is the name of that one. Larry Harrison on lead for that one. First heard that on the Time Capsule Show sometime in the mid-1970s. Used to tune into that program on WFUV out of Fordham University and pulled out a few of their 45s for future Vinyl Treasure shows. At one time there were multiple I don't know if a lot of the Four Buddies, some of the Four Buddies were available, but at one time there was a lot of store stock on these Savoy records because the inventory was available to the early collectors in the 1970s. So it was able to get a lot of that stuff in the late 70s, early 80s. Anyway, John G. babbling on here. Let's continue here. Let's move to 1954. Let's go back to a George Goldner label, this time the G label, but in its first instance of the label, pressed by Trojan Records, Inc., and the color of the label that time was green and yellow, different from those common black and red G labels that you're used to seeing. But the lead singer for this group would go on to own the Teenage record label, lots of rare 45s on that Teenage label, along with Ben Smith, who was a saxophone player, had his own band in the early 1950s. I have a Teenage 45 coming up later on in the show, but this group is called the Colonials, and I'm featuring the A-side, which is on the label, as George Goldner would do on these early sides, call it Jump Blues. And it features Bill Bass Gordon on lead. This one from October 54. Bill Bass Gordon and the Colonials on G, and their tune called Bring My Baby Back.
well, it's my time to holler, my time to sing the blues. Yes, it's my time to holler, my time to sing the blues. My baby's gonna left me all alone. Yes, it's my time to holler, my time to sing the blues. Yes, it's my time to holler, my time to sing the blues. My baby's gonna left me
Rockin' tunes here for a Saturday evening on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Bill Bass, Gordon, and the Colonials, October 1954. That's the A side of the 45. It's called Bring My Baby Back. That one there, George Goldner's G record label. I think there were like 12 or no, maybe 12 or 14 releases on the green and yellow G label. They're not easy to find by any means. I still need that one by the Coins. I'm looking for that, either 45 or 78 by the Coins. John G. babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. And a couple records ago, we heard from the Four Buddies, but there was another Four Buddies group up in Chicago, Illinois. They have 145 on James Davis's Club 51 record label from May of 55, a great tune called Dolores. But prior to that, they backed up two artists that recorded on the same label, Club 51 Records, R&B singer Rudy Green. They backed him up on one record, and the other was this gospel singer, this female singer by the name of Bobby James. And that's the 45 that I have on turntable number 2 here to feature, and it's a cover song, was first written and recorded by Ivory Joe Hunter. And let's go back to April of 1955, Bobby James and the Four Buddies. Club 51 Records, give a listen to their tune titled, I Need You So.
I need you so to keep me happy. If I can't have you, I cannot go on. I miss your arms around me tightly. Yes, I miss them nightly when you're not at home. When day is done, I miss you so. I lie awake to hear a knock upon the door. When you leave, I'll try not to come back in a hurry, 'cause I need you so. When day is done, I miss you so. I lie awake to hear your knock upon the door. When you leave, I'll try not to come back in a hurry, 'cause I need you so.
Rare 45s here for a Saturday evening on the Club 51 record label out of Chicago, Illinois. That's Bobby James and the Four Buddies, April 1955. Her rendition of the Ivory Joe Hunter song, I Need You So. Now, that was covered by so many other artists through the years, but the side I featured is the hardest of the of the Four Buddies 45s, pretty rare 45. I think might not be, well, one of the hardest records to get on Club 51. The other one is by the Kingsmen, a very hard record to find. Actually, I won that 45, believe it or not, on the early days of eBay. I think I won that record for about $500, worth a lot more than that. Nice mint copy. I actually met the guy off of a rest stop on the Garden State Parkway for a cash transaction. Bought that record. He showed me some others, and he wanted, I think, $5 a piece for. So I ended up picking them up, but it was a great deal for me. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. Let's go back to New York City for this next group. They recorded for Thomas Robinson's Atlas Angletone Complex initially as the Cavaliers Quartet, but then with a couple of personnel changes, they changed their name to the Phi-Tones. Now here's the B-side to their first release under the Phi-Tone name, and it's a cover song done by so many groups through the years. This side features Gene Red on lead. This one from September 55, the Phi-Tones with a B-side. It's on the Atlas label, their rendition of the song Let's Fall in Love.
Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? I have no reason thinking of reason falling for you. So let's rock the boat out on this sea just for me. I'm not teasing, baby, I'm falling for you. Well, the boat's there rocking way out at sea, and I don't know what to do. Baby, I'm falling, yes, I'm falling in a great big way for you. So let's rock the boat out on the sea just for me. I'm not teasing, baby, I'm falling for you. Fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? I have a reason, thinking of teasing, falling for you. Falling for you. Falling for you is no shame.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Phi-Tones. The Phi-Tones, September 1955 release there. Let's Fall in Love is the name of that one. It's the B-side to their first Phi-Tone release on Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label. Of course, it's called Foolish Dreams. Actually, this is probably a second press. The first press, this is one of the first ones I purchased. I forget who I got this from. John Gallagher, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. But my first copy of that was the original I found for 35 cents at the Yonkers Raceway Flea Market. And I was upset because that flip side had a deadly scratch in it that I could not get the skip out. I was really upset about that. But I said, oh my gosh, I found an Atlas 45 for 35 cents. And I was really psyched as a teenager to find that. Anyway, John G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Have the first flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. We go to Connie Toole's Theron label. Featured the B-side of this 45 called You're the Dream. Let's give a listen to the A-side before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. It's from December of 55. The group is called the Marvellos on Theron Records. The name of the song is Calypso Mama.
Wonder why I feel so groovy every time I see the dance. It must be the way she does it, the way she jumps and prance. Calypso mama, let me see you knock one out. Say mama, let me see you knock one out. Take your hips, then you wiggle all about. All right, pretty baby, dance calypso, mama, dance, mama, dance calypso, mama, dance, dance calypso, mama, dance, dance calypso, mama, dance. Calypso mama dance, mama, so mama, so mama, dance calypso. Then I come and dance with you. Calypso mama, dance calypso, mama, dance. Then I come and dance with you. Calypso mama, dance calypso, mama, calypso mama. Will you? Mama, dance, do it, baby. Mama, dance, calypso, mama, dance, hey, mama, dance, calypso, mama, dance, mama, dance, calypso, mama, dance, mama, dance, calypso, mama, dance, well, baby, dance, 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 dance.
Yeah, that's Calypso Mama. Anybody? God, my Calypso Mama was here today. That is for sure. Anyway, those are the Marvellos, December 1955. Calypso Mama is the name of the tune on the Theron label out of Chicago, Illinois. They would go on to have other releases on the Stephanie label, a pretty rare record on Stephanie, and also on the Marvello label. John G here spinning original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here. It's my 1950s and early 60s edition, and we count down the music chronologically. We move into 1956 and continue with the flip sides from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. This time, Jerry Winston's Onyx label for this group called the Pearls. They were from Detroit, Michigan. I featured their first of 5, actually their big New York City hit, Let's You and I Go Steady. Now the flip side's a cool up-tempo, co-written by the lead singer. His name is Howard Guyton, and along with Sammy Lowe and the orchestra, here are the Pearls from August 56, the Pearls on Onyx with Zippity Zippity Zoom.
Oh yeah, yeah baby, little girl. Let's go a zippity zoom, like the stars and the heavenly moon. Let's go do the do-de-loo, 'cause my baby done cook my goose. Well, I'm all mixed up because I really falling in love. Let's go a zippity zoom, like the old Daniel Boone. Let's go do do-de-loo, 'cause my baby done cook my goose. Well, I'm all mixed up because I really falling in love. Honey, what can your troubles be? Your lover keep a-whooping and a-whooping on me. My heart's on fire, my soul's in a jam. Come on, baby, let's let's a clickety clam. Let's go a ziggity zoom, just like old Daniel Boone. Let's go do the loop, 'cause my baby done cook my goose. Well, I'm all mixed up because I really falling in love. Just like old Daniel Boone. Let's go do the loop, 'cause my baby done cook my goose. Well, I'm all mixed up because I really falling in love. Honey, what can your trouble be? You love a people whooping on me. My heart's on fire, my soul's in a jam. Come on, baby, let's clickety clam. Let's go a ziggity zoom, just like old Daniel Boone. Let's go do the loop, 'cause my baby done cook my goose. Well, I'm all mixed up because I really falling in love. Oh yeah, yes baby, oh yeah.
August 56, those are the Pearls, the flip side to their first release on Jerry Winston's Onyx record label, Zippity Zippity Zoom. That's the B-side. Let's You and I Go Steady is the A-side. Great two-sided up-tempo 45, and Howard Guyton, of course, recorded with other groups through the years. He even has some cool soul recordings that go for some big bucks. Those of you that like the Northern Soul tunes from the mid-1960s, he does. Anyway, John G's here for a Saturday evening. We continue. Got another flip side that I played from last week by this girl group called the Dungaree Dolls. The side that I played was Boy of My Dreams. That was the intended B-side of the 45. Came out on the Rego label out of New York City. Very rare 45 for you collectors out there. Now here's the A-side, which would be covered later on in the year, November of 56, by Yvonne Baker and the Sensations on Atco. They recorded this song too, but this is the original. Came out 4 months prior. It's from July 56. They're called the Dungaree Dolls. It's on Rego Records with a song titled Little Wallflower.
I know they're whispering about me. I don't care what they say about me. I'll sing while they talk about me. They're calling me Little Wallflower, while all the other girls are dancing. You find me dreaming of romancing. I can see from the way they're glancing. They're calling me Little Wallflower. No boy has a chance with me. I won't let them dance with me. I would rather just sit here alone. The fellas all wonder why I let every dance go by. But I have reasons of my own. I'll keep my promise to you, Johnny. I'll dance with no one but you, Johnny. So hurry, hurry to the party. Then I won't be Little Wallflower anymore, anymore. Won't be Little Wallflower anymore.
Were they whispering it? 45, that's what it sounded like. Those are the Dungaree Dolls, July 1956. It's on the Rego label out of New York City. Very rare 45 on the Rego label, the Dungaree Dolls with Little Wallflower. You will get that by the Dungaree Darlings on the Karen label in 1959. That is the cheaper way to get that 45 for you collectors out there. John G here for a Saturday evening. It's original vinyl 45s. We are in the year of 1956. Let's stay in New York City. Let's go back to George Goldner's Rama record label for this group known as the Continentals. Now, this is not the same group. I think they're out of Brooklyn, the Brooklyn group that recorded on Whirling Disc Records with Picture of Love and Fine Fine Frame, two great records by that group. This is a different group, and they had this one release on the Rama label. Now, the collectors usually play the ballad side of this, which is the intended B-side, which features Billy Davis on lead, You're an Angel, and he was previously a member of the Crows, and he joined this group. But this is the A-side, which features James Gooden on lead. It's a jump again. We have Jimmy Wright and the orchestra. They return. This one from January 56, the Continentals on Rama, and their song's called Giddy Up and Ding Dong.
Giddy up and ding dong, 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 giddy up and ding dong.
Yes, I got a girl named Sue. I'm so in love, I don't know what to do. Sue, look what you're doing to me. I'm so in love, I just can't see. Oh, 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 oh. I love you so much. Without you, dear, I just can't do much. Ever since you stole my heart, I knew that we would never, never part. Oh, 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 oh. I love my baby, yes. Don't mean maybe, yes. Please, sweet Sue, yes. Love you till you do. Oh, 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 oh. Soon I don't you realize the love like that is in my eyes. Soon can't you plainly see that you alone were meant for me. Oh, 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 sooner don't you realize the love that is in my eyes. Sooner can't you plainly see that you alone were meant for me. Oh, 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 oh. I won't be less. Show me, baby, hey, hey, soon. Oh, love me till you do.
They're called the Continentals. I need get a better It's not an easy record to find. It has gone down in price. Bought that from, I think, Chris Ciccona. I think it was in Springfield, New Jersey record show. I did. Anyway, the Continentals there, January 1956 with Jimmy Wright and the orchestra. That one there, George Goldner's Rama record label. Giddy Up and Ding Dong. John G getting up here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's continue here. Up next, the first release on the Acme record label. And you know the Acme with, what is that, the Coyote and the Roadrunner. You see, they have, everything was Acme. But of course, there was a record label called Acme Records. It was actually William Henry Miller's Acme label. And it's a female with a male group backing. Her real name is Nancy Washington. This is the first of two she recorded on the Acme label, probably the easier of the two to find. And she recorded as Nancy Lee. Now, the group backing her up, they are the Tempo Tones. You know, Richard Lanham and the Tempo Tones. Features Tico Wilshire. He's playing piano on this. Texas. King Curtis, he's on tenor sax, and Mickey Guitar Baker, he is on guitar. Let's give a listen to Nancy Lee. This one from February 57, Nancy Lee on Acme with So They Say.
I'm no Mary, I didn't bring no lamb to school, no. But all the kids laugh at me, they say that I'm a fool. Oh, to cry all night and day while you go out and play. You don't love me, so they say. You don't smile anymore whenever we pass. No, you don't even notice that I'm still in your class. Oh, my friends say I'm a fool to love you this way while you go out with other girls, so they say. Oh, darling, please tell me, please say it isn't true. All the things the kids say you do. If you still love me, tomorrow when we change class, won't you just smile at me?
Oh, that I mean, yes, yes.
When the kids get home from school and turn on the radio, yes, they'll hear our dedication, and then they will know, yes, we're still going steady, and we'll always be that way. Oh, darling, regardless of what they say.
That's Acme Records, Acme 711, the first record on the William Henry Miller's Acme label. Nancy Lee, her real name is Nancy Washington, February 1957, So They Say is the name of that tune. So they say that Johnny G features only original vinyl 45s. Well, they are right. That is for sure. Let's continue here. Got another flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. I played a rare 45 on the Tress label out of Flemington, New Jersey. But the group, they were from Cleveland, Ohio. I featured the ballad B-side called I Know. So let's give a listen to the A-side. Now, this group included a young Edwin Starr, same Edwin Starr that recorded Stop Her on Sight SOS on the Rick Tick label, and also War, What Is It Good For, on Cordy label. And he was under his real name, Charles Hatcher, and he was a member of this group there called the Future Tones. The Future Tones, this one also out of 57 on Tress. The A-side is called Roll On.
Oh, baby, roll on. Oh, baby, roll on. Oh, baby, roll on. Oh, baby, roll on. Well, I'm rocking and rolling and rocking the stone roll on. Well, early in the morning, about the break of day, all you can hear my baby say is
Those are the Future Tones. Future Tones there from 1957. It's on the Tress label out of, what did I say, Flemington, New Jersey there. Cool tune, the Future Tones with Roll On. And I don't know if, does that sound like a young Edwin Starr on lead? Could be, because his voice was a little higher before he had those cool soul records on the Rick Tick record label and other labels. I got to say hello to Alan Carner. He's tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show this evening. Hope you're enjoying the tunes here. Let's continue here with, we go back to the mentioned earlier. I played the Colonials 45. The Colonials had the lead singer of the Colonials also owned the Teenage record label. So here it is now. I got a Teenage 45. It's actually the flip side from a record I played last week, and it's the intended A-side by a group called The Demons that I'm featuring. I featured the B-side last week, a song called You Broke My Heart, but the A-side written by the lead singer, his name is Eddie Jones. This one from August of 57, great two-sided 45, the A-side by The Demons on Teenage, the original version of Take Me As I Am.
So if you want me, take me as I am. Here I am, just a plain Joe. I don't know any more than any man could know. So if you want me, take me as I am. I'm not at all a genius, nor do I want to be. I'm not perfect, for no one is, you see. So if you want me, take me as I am. Know just how to treat you, to make you love me strong. I couldn't love anyone else, for you blind my eyes. Come to me, talk to me, let me know what you see. Tell me, dear, you take me as I am. Tell me, dear, you take me as I am.
Yeah, those are the Demons, D-E-M-E-N-S is spelling for that one. August 1957, the legendary Teenage record label out of New York City, Take Me As I Am. That is the A-side of the 45. Now, the Duprees would cover that song, would be the B-side to their biggest hit, their first release on the co-ed label, You Belong to Me. So I'm sure that Eddie Jones earned some nice royalty money from that record, if at least he gets writer credits on the flip side, because, you know, sometimes these labels did some really funny things, unfortunately. But the Demons would later record as the Emersons, releases on Newport and Cub and the United Artists label. John G here for a Saturday evening. We continue here. Let's continue with another flip side. As as I featured this 45 on Jim Hawthorne's MMI label out of Hollywood, California. The group was called the Ripcords, and the side that I played was the intended B-side. It featured a female lead on the song called You and I. Now, the A-side features a male lead, and I guess we can call this like a novelty type tune here. It's out of Hollywood, California. They're called the Ripcords, July 1958 on MMI Records, with a song titled I Laughed So Hard.
Yay, hey, yay, yay, ho, 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 ha, ha. Yay, yay, ho, 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 ha. I laughed so hard I cracked inside. Now you're gone away from home. You thought I would cry. Well, now you're gone, left me alone. You said I lie. Well, I'm glad you're gone, go on and wrong. I laughed so hard I cracked my side. First I thought you were a blessing, but now I know all of my days are so much brighter. I'm a happy soul, 'cause I'm glad you're gone, go on and wrong. I laughed so hard I cracked my side. Yeah, 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 ho, 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 ha, ha. Yeah, yeah, ho, 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 ha, ha. I laughed so hard I nearly died. Hard to crack my side up by my dear, so long my dear, glad to see you go. One thing you can be sure of, not a tear to flow. 'Cause I'm glad you're gone, go on and wrong. I laughed so hard to crack my side, yeah, 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 ho, 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 ha, ha.
You know those? It sounds like they you know those little laughing boxes they used to have. It sounds like that's the laugh from those little laughing boxes. Anyway, that's the A side of the 45 by a group called the Ripcords, July 1958 release on the MMI label out of Hollywood, California. I laughed so hard. And they didn't say I cried. Anyway, Jaji here for a Saturday evening. We continue, and we continue with the B-sides from last week. I featured a group from Brooklyn, New York. They were called the Shy Tones. I played the A-side of their debut 45. Came out on a label called Spot Records. It was called White Bucks, a pair of shoes I never owned. Never owned a pair of White Bucks. Maybe, what's his name? What is his name? That Pat Boone had a pair of White Bucks, I'm pretty sure, but I did not. But the B-side's a nice ballad. Let's give it a spin here. It features Graham Lee True on lead from 1958. These are the Shy Tones on Spot, and they're singing about a gal. She goes by the name of Annette.
I
I did. Now I know you weren't a kid. And then E.T.T. love me, all of me, on my knees every day. All I do is pray you'll be my baby. I don't mean maybe. I ask you once, I'll ask you twice. Please love me. Let's break the ice. T.T. love me.
Yeah, they're called the Shy Tones. The Shy Tones from 1958. On the Spot label, singing about their gal named Annette. Now, this group would later on change their name to the High Tones on the Fonska label, I think, or the Fonska, I think. Or there was another odd spelling of their other release. John G here for a Saturday evening. We are continuing here, and here is yet another B-side from last week's show. Now, you collectors better check your flip sides, because a lot of the flip sides are equally as good as the A-sides. I played Sunny Day and the Versatiles last week. They were out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Versatiles were really the Dell Vikings, and Sunny Day was the lead. He was really David Fatosky. And the side I played last week was called Speedalac. That was the A-side. Let's flip it over. Give a listen to the B-side. He also wrote the B-side, Sunny Day did. A great two-sided 45 on Leonard Chess's Checker label. This one, February 1958, Sunny Day and the Versatiles. And their song called Half Moon.
Shine upon the one that I love. My baby only gives me half of her love. You devil have moon, devil have moon, half moon. Why can't you give our old love a new start? My baby only gives me half of her heart. You devil have moon. I love her so, I can't let her go. Half moon, can't you see? You must realize these are tears in my eyes. Turn the fool and bring her back to me. Half moon, why must you shine upon the one that I love? My baby only gives me half of her love. You devil have moon, devil have moon. Half moon, why can't you give
February 1958 release there for Sunny Day and the Versatiles. And Versatiles, really the Del Vikings. Half Moon is the name of the tune. That's the B-side on the Checker record label. John G here spinning my 1950s and early 60s 45s. Let's move into the year 1959 for this group called the Youngsters. Now, they are not the vocal group of the Youngsters that recorded out in California. These are a pair of brothers from Hahira, Georgia, and then prior to this release they recorded as the Brothers on the Argo label in 1958. Then in early 1959 they had a number 42 national Billboard hit, I guess we can call it that. It was a cover of the Travis and Bob song Tell Him No on Bullseye Records as Dean and Mark. That was the 45 my aunt purchased. He didn't have the Travis and Bob recording. He had the Dean and Mark recording of it. But here is their third overall release, and they are really Dean and Mark Mathis, and on this 45 on the Checker label they were called the Youngsters. It's from February 59. Let's give it a spin. The Youngsters on Checker with their tune called Lucky 16.
Lucky 16, I'm lucky 16. Anything less is just an in between. Daddy used to say, hey, get off that phone. Now I've got a phone on my very own. Lucky 16, yeah, I'm lucky 16. Now I buy the teenage magazine. No more faded jeans, half a size too small. No more built-up heels to make me 6 feet tall. I like the clothes that my big brother buys. Now, every day, I'm getting more his size. Rocking and a-rolling to the latest tune. Even my folks know I'll be growing up soon. Let me have the car every Friday night. Hitch it to a star, drive it out of sight. Tonight I'm holding my baby so tight. And it's Keen being lucky 16, yeah. Keen being lucky 16. I like the clothes that my big brother buys. Now, every day, I'm getting more his size. Rocking and a-rolling to the latest tune. Even my folks know I'll be growing up soon. Let me have the car every Friday night. Hitch it to a star, drive it out of sight. Tonight I'm holding my baby so tight. And it's Keen being lucky 16, yeah. Keen being lucky 16. It's Keen being lucky 16.
February 1959 release. They're called the Youngsters. They are really Dean and Mark Mathis. That one there on the Checker label. A song called Lucky 16. I don't know if 16 is lucky. Maybe it's more sweet than lucky. Anyway, but of course, Dean and Mark Mathis, later they would join with Larry Henley to form the New Beats and record lots of records on songs on the Hickory label out of Nashville, Tennessee. Let's continue here on my last 60s show. Now, not the 50s show. My last 60s show, I featured the original version of the song Go Now, made popular really by the Moody Blues, but the original version came out on the Tiger label by singer Bessie Banks, and she was the wife of Larry Banks, who was a member of the Four Fellows that recorded for the Glory label. Now, here is a song her husband Larry wrote And she is singing lead with this group called The Companions. It features Bessie Banks on lead, and this would come out a year later on Federal Records, December 1960. But here's the original from May of '59. These are The Companions, Bessie Banks on lead. It's on the Brooks label, and the song is called I Didn't Know.
Thought about you all the time. Yes, I really thought that you were mine. I didn't know you got married. I long to hold you oh so tight, squeeze you dear with all my might. I didn't know you got married. My dear, till eternity. No, I didn't know you got married. You got married.
That one there from May 1959. They're called The Companions. The Companions featured Bessie Banks on lead on the Brooks label. That's the original label for this. I Didn't Know You Got Married. I think that's the longer title on the Federal label in 1960. But anyway, that's Bessie Banks on lead. She recorded the original version of Go Now in 1965. Johnny G's here spinning original vinyl 45s. We are in the year 1959. This next group, they are out of Petersburg, Virginia. They recorded two on Benjamin Allen's New Cat record label. This is the second of two, written by Johnny John, who is really the label owner, and his real name is Benjamin Allen. Again, these label owners play so many games with their record companies to get all the money. That is the name of the game. But anyway, this was a Gus Gossard favorite. It features Joe Cooper on lead. This one from April 1959. They're called the Continental Five. The Continental Five on New Cat. This side's slightly off center. I tried to line it up, those of you watching on the Ustream broadcaster. But anyway, give a listen to this tune. It's called My Lonely Friend.
Long, 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 long,
That's a big Gus Gossard favorite there. The Continental Five is the name of the group. Joe Cooper on lead for that one, April 1959, on the New Cat label out of Petersburg, Virginia. The Continental Five with My Lonely Friend. Remember, I bought that from Jeff Beckman when he was selling out his collection. Not really a great copy, but then I did get a mint copy eventually, but that's my VG copy. For you collectors out there, you can get a cheaper one on the Candlelight label. It came out in 1964. That'll cost you a lot less than the one on New Cat. We continue here. Up next, I have another duet. They go by the name of Robert and Jimmy. And Charlene nor I could find any information about this duet. We don't know their last names, but this is the intended A side of the 45. It's on a label called K, the letter K. That's it. It's from May of 59. It's a styrene 45, and you know I hate styrene records. Robert and Jimmy is the name of the duo. It's on K Records. The song is called I Just Can't Help Myself.
No matter what you do, no matter what you say, it won't change a thing. I'll always feel this way. I love you so, I just can't help myself. No matter if you stray and go far, far away, I'll always feel the same. My love will still remain. I love you so, I just can't help myself. You are what I'm living for. Nothing else, nothing more. Without you, there's no tomorrow. This love of mine is not just to borrow. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, it won't change a thing. I'll always feel this way. I love you so, I just can't help myself. I love you so, I just can't help myself.
Sort of a Robert and Johnny type sound there. For the duo Robert and Jimmy, May 1959, it's on the K, the letter K label, not K-Tel Gene, that those 1970 records on that K-Tel label. Anyway, that's Robert and Jimmy with I Just Can't Help Myself. You know, John G just can't help himself when it comes to addictions like 45s to say, because that's what I am addicted to. So let's continue here. Let's go back to the West Coast to Leon Renee's Class label this time for this artist, originally from Fort Worth, Texas, and he was one of the original members of the Hollywood Flames, started back in 1950. Recorded as Bobby Day, of course his real name is Bobby Bird. Had some very successful singles, probably the biggest being the Rockin' Robin, a big hit for him in 1958. But here is his 9th of 13 on the Class record label. This one from May of 59. It's our last record from the 1950s. This is Bobby Day on Class with a song entitled Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll.
Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll. They met one night at a teenage hop. He taught her how to rock and do the bop. They soon got married, bless my soul. Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll. Well, they kept on rocking and having a ball. Dance for the president and that ain't all. A teenage picture made a lot of gold from Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll. They got everybody rocking from Maine to Tokyo. Oh, oh. Every little island, even in Thailand, she say, I love you so. Now they got a rockin' little family. When they start a bopping, what a sight to see. They'll be rockin' when they are 80 years old. Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll. Got everybody rocking from Maine to Tokyo. Oh, every little island, even in Thailand, she say, I love you so. Now they got a rockin' little family. When they start a bopping, what a sight to see. They'll be rockin' when they are 80 years old. Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll.
That's Mr. Bobby Day. Bobby Day, his 9th of 13 on Leon Renee's Class record label out of California there. Mr. and Mrs. Rock and Roll, May 1959 release. John G here, moving into the year 1960 now. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I think we moved into the 60s with this same 45. Came out on William Stevenson's Step label. And this would again come out on the Anna label, but I featured the B-side of the 45 on the original label, Step Records that is, a song called Do You Want to See My Baby, as done by Herman Griffin and the Melodies. Now, at this time, around mid-1960, Herman was courting another Motown artist, and she was Miss Mary Wells, and I think this song was written for her because they would eventually marry. So let's give this one a spin. April 1960, Herman Griffin and the Melodies on Step Records with a song titled Hurry Up and Marry Me.
Won't you hurry up and marry me? Set my heart and soul ready. They say that love is not a game, but you're playing with my heart. Just the same, won't you hurry up? Make up your mind. True love like mine is hard to find. To want so much in life is want in vain, and wanting to be loved is not the same. Won't you hurry up and make up your mind? I never knew how much it really meant to me until I started counting up the years. But of all I've known and of all I've owned in my life, your love has been missing. Won't you hurry up
Won't you hurry up and make up your
We'll send that one out to Lady Linda, currently in the Top Shelf Oldies chat. I was singing that record to Barbara this afternoon up here when I was researching the records for the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Herman Griffin and the Melodies. April 1960 on the Step record label. Hurry Up and Marry Me is the name of the tune. And he would marry Mary Wells in June of 1961, only to divorce her, or I think she divorced him. I think it was more like that, in March of 1963. Then 1966, I think Mary Wells would marry Bobby Womack's younger brother, Cecil, and that one lasted until 1977, and there were 3 children from that marriage, and maybe the breakup was due to her affair with the other Womack brother, Curtis. Woe is me. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Saturday evening, spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Got another girl group sound here. This group from New York City. They consisted of Naomi Barnes, Mary Ella Maybeck, Inez Spencer, and Valeria, I think that's how you say that, Waddell, and collectively they were known as the Confessions, and this is the B-side to their lone release. It's on the Epic label. It's from November of 61. Give a listen to the Confessions with a song titled Bebop Baby. Girl group sounds here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called the Confessions. The Confessions from November of 61. Bebop Baby is the name of the tune. Came out on the Epic record label. As we move on here with another flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured this group out of Jackson, Mississippi. They were known as the Vells. I played the A side of their 45, a song called Please Be Mine. Now the B side has a whistler in the beginning of the tune who is really George Trebotich. He was the owner of the label Trebco Records. It features Tim Whitsett on lead. This one from September 61. They're called the Vells on Trebco, with a tune called, it doesn't sound right, but it's called Mysterious Teenage. don't know if it should be teenager, but it's Mysterious Teenage.
Mysterious teenage, mysterious girl. She don't even know me or no one in this world. She don't even notice or give me a glance. Mysterious teenage won't give love a chance. She keeps her nose in the air without a care. Keeps her heart standing there when my love is only despair. Mysterious teenager, hoping that she will soon find her lover. How I hope it be me. She keeps her nose in the air without a care. Keeps her heart standing bare when my love is only despair. Mysterious teenager, hoping that she will soon find her lover. How I hope it be me.
At September 61, they're called the Vels. The Vels on the Trepco label. That is the B-side, and they had to mess that up. It says Mysterious Teenage. It sounds like they say teenage a few times, and they say teenager. You would think it would be Mysterious Teenager. Anyway, Johnny G losing his mind here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. We are playing 45s out of the year 1961. This next artist, a rockabilly singer from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. He moved to Memphis, Tennessee, and played at the Cotton Club, and was then discovered by Sun session musician Stan Kessler. He had 3 overall releases. One came out on the Crystal label in '58, another one on the Rita label in 1960, and then finally this one on Sam Phillips' Sun label. His name is Don Hosea. Don Hosea, this one from October 61 on Sun. The song is titled Since I Met You.
Forgotten since I met you. I live for the moment we'll be as one forever. You'll be my own. Oh, dear God, have mercy. Watch over lonesome feeling stars. I walk the lonely road till I'm back in your arms, so softly caressed. This whole world is so cold. I don't want no sadness, no more tears. I've been crying all of these years, but it's forgotten since I met you.
Don Hosea, I think that's how you pronounce it, Hosea. Sam Phillips' Sun label for that one, October 1961. Since I Met You is the name of that tune. John G here for a Saturday evening. We are spinning 1960s, early 1960s original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Let's go back to the B-sides from last week. This time, this record out of Philadelphia, PA. I played a group called the Duprees, D-A-P-R-E-E-S. Came out on Artie Singer's Twist label. The A-side was called Payday, and I have no info on this group, but the B-side, they are doing a cover song originally recorded by Danny and the Juniors, which was the B-side to their big hit At the Hop. And again, let's listen to the Duprees, this one from 61 on Twist, with their rendition of the tune Sometimes When I'm All Alone.
Sometimes when I'm all alone, feeling kind of low, you come around to cheer me up because you love me so. You know I'll be true no matter what you do. Please, darling, say you love me too. Sometimes when we're on a date, I tell myself beware. Your folks object if we're out late, but I don't even care. I really want you for my wife. I truly need you all my life. Please, darling, don't leave me in despair. You know how I feel about you, darling.
Cover tunes here on part 2 of the Vinyltreasure Show. That's 1961, the Duprees, with Danny and the Juniors song Sometimes, parentheses, When I'm All Alone. That one there on Artie Singer's Twist label out of Philadelphia, PA. We are here for a Saturday evening spinning 45s. Let's continue here for this gal. She's originally from Bowling Green, Kentucky, but she moved to New Orleans, Louisiana in her teens and began recording in 1958 with her sister Judy. She recorded as Judy and Joyce, and while she was performing in Mexico, vacationing record label owner Laura Richardson, she owned formed the Domino label out of Austin, Texas, discovered her, and she signed her to her label, and she put out 2 45s. Here is the second, a song she wrote. She goes by the name of Joyce Harris. Joyce Harris, January 61 release on the Domino label, a song titled Dreamer.
What I said, Willie. These dreams, they are your dreams. You gave me to help make you grow. Yes, these dreams, they are your dreams. You gave me to help make you grow. Dreaming, all the time dreaming of that day when I will prove. Yes, these dreams that I have dreamed of aren't foolish at all but true, at all but true, at all but true.
Her name is Joyce Harris. Joyce Harris on a label called Domino Records. I think it's out of Austin, Texas, that label, if I'm mistaken. But anyway, January 61, Joyce Harris with Dreamer. You got to call the lawyers on that one. Don't think Mickey and Sylvia will be happy with that tune. Sounds too much like Love is Strange. Now, her first release on Domino, the backup group is called the Slades. The Slades, of course, were the original group that recorded You Cheated. That became really big for the Shields. And she had other releases on the Infinity label, Fun label, and one came out on the Suroc label. She changed her name, though, to Sinner Strong. And that tune very much like Love is Strange. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's continue here for this next group. They formed in Akron, Ohio by lead singer Jordan Zankoff, but he would later change his name to Jordan Christopher. And initially, they recorded as the Fascinations on the Shore label in 1960. You might know their tune called It's Midnight, but then in later 1960, they became Jordan and the Fascinations, had releases on the Dapt label, Josie label, and the one that I'm featuring, Jerry Loves Carol label, out of 1619 Broadway in New York City. Let's give it a spin. We go back to October 1961, Jordan and the Fascinations on the Carol label with their tune called Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time, a boy, a girl, a sweet romance. Once upon a time, you gave my heart, it's a one big chance. You taught me,
side. One day we'll marry. You'll be my bride. You are the one girl that I love. You are the one girl that I'm thinking of. Well, once upon a time, a boy, a girl, a sweet romance. Once upon a time, you gave my heart, it's a one big chance. You taught me the meaning of love. Oh, sweet love. Oh, sweet love. Oh,
October 61 there for Jordan and the Fascinations. Jordan Christopher. He's the lead singer on that one. Once Upon a Time's the name of the tune. Came out on the Carol label for you collectors out there. The styrene press is the first press. The vinyl press is the second press. Now, Jordan Christopher, he would be married to Sybil Burton. Is that her name? Sybil Burton? 1966 anyway, but unfortunate that he passed away on January 21st, 1996. He was only 55 years old, passed away from a massive heart attack. Anyway, John G here spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's continue, and this one here, Charlene nor I could really find any info on this artist. It appears to be his only release. He goes by the name of Johnny Treble. Almost sounds like it's a made-up name, Johnny Treble. But let's listen to the A-side of the 45. It was released on the United Artist record label. It's from October of 61. Give a listen to Johnny Treble and his tune called Out of the Frying Pan.
I jumped right out of the frying pan into the fire. Oh, that's where I tumbled when I fell in love with you. Well, ahead of the new girl, she used to set my soul aflame. My heart pounded the mention of her name. Then when I met you, oh, well, I knew our love was through. You smiled at me and made her love tame. So I jumped right out of the frying pans into the fire. Oh, that's where I tumbled when I fell in love with you. Jumped right out of the frying pans into the fire. Oh, that's where I tumbled when I fell in love with you. I used to kiss my little girl and I would thrill from head to toe. But since the night you glued your lips to mine, I feel so much heat that the pulse begins to beat till my throbbing heart goes right out. Out of the frying pans into the fire. Oh, that's where I tumbled when I fell in love with you. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Oh, that's where I tumbled when I fell in love with you.
October 61 there. Johnny Treble is his name. United Artists Records, Out of the Frying Pan is the name of that tune. That is the A-side of the 45. The B-side, he does a cover of a Gene Pitney song called Surefire Bet. Does anybody know that tune? I am not familiar with that tune. John G here is here for a Saturday evening. We are spinning 1950s and early 60s original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's go to this group out of Detroit, Michigan, a very rare 45. They have 2 overall releases. Their first one came out on the OK label in 1959. Then they followed it up with this one, which is much harder to find on a label called Heart Records. This is side 1, a very nice ballad by a group known as the Flints. It's from December of 61, the Flints on Heart, with their tune called Why Did You Go?
Away from me, why did you go and why did you say to let you be? Why did you go and hurt me so? Why did you go? Why did you go? Why did you go? Why make me cry then say goodbye? I am lonely. Why did you play and hurt me this way? I loved you only. Why did you go and hurt me so? Why, oh, why did you go away? Oh, now I am lonely. Without you by my side, and I can't help it, darling. The tears that are flowing from my eyes are falling. Why did you go and why did you stray away from me? Why did you go and why did you say to let you be? Why did you go and hurt me so? Why, oh why did you go? Why did you go? Oh why did you go?
Rare 45s here from 1961, December 61 to be exact. They're called the Flints. The Flints on the Heart label. Why Did You Go is the name of that one. Remember buying that one from Mike Demersion and found out that he passed away. If I can get clarification, someone told me that he passed away a couple of years ago. That is terrible news when I found that out. Anyway, John G's here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. And back to Brooklyn, New York, we go to Stan Cypher's Poplar record label. It's the group's only release, a great two-sided 45. Let's give a spin to the B-side of the record. It features Joe Bellacoria on lead, and they are known as the Enchantones. We move into 1962. The Enchantones on Poplar with a song titled We Fell in Love.
We fell together, we fell in love. doop doop de doobie doobie wop.
We cried together, yeah, yeah. We sighed together, yeah, yeah. We fell together, we fell in love.
We fell in love.
I still remember the night, remember. I held you tight, I still remember. Stars up above, remember our story of love. We'll live together, yeah, yeah. We'll stay together, yeah, yeah. We'll be forever, ever in love.
Forever in love.
I still remember the night, remember. I held you tight, I still remember. Stars up above, remember our story of love. We'll live together, yeah, yeah. We'll give together, yeah, yeah. We'll stay forever, ever in love.
Doop doop de doobie doobie wom doobie wom doobie wom wom be doobie doobie wom.
Sounds of 1962 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called the Enchantones. The Enchantones out of Brooklyn, New York, and a Joe Bella Correa on lead. That's the Poplar label. Styrene Press didn't really play that bad there. We Fell in Love is the name of that tune. Got to welcome Mr. Dave the Rave, host of Relics and Rarities here on Sunday evenings on Top Shelf Oldies from 9 to midnight. He is joined us in our chat room. And you come in and say hello to Mr. Dave the Rave. John G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. We are not in Vinyl Treasure overtime. Well, not yet. We are getting close to that, but let's continue here. Let's stay in 62 with the debut single for this group from South Philadelphia. Came out on Jerry Ross's Heritage record label, arranged by the first tenor of the group. His name is Jack McKnight. It features Mickey Neal on lead. This one charted number 50 on WAAT out of Trenton, New Jersey. We go back to September of 62, the debut single for the Four Epics on Heritage. And give a listen to their tune. It's called I'm On My Way.
I miss the love
September 62, they're the debut single for the Four Epics. Four Epics there. Mikey Neal on lead for that one. I'm On My Way is the name of the tune, that one there. On Jerry Ross's Heritage record label, that they would have two more releases that came out on the Laurie record label. In 1963, they had a release on the Swan label under the name The Vespers, and then they released a record on Juan, believe it or not, in 1972. They were known as Exodus. If you know that tune called M&M. I used to hear that one quite a bit when WCBS-FM was playing cool oldies during the day and the evenings 24/7, but no more. You hear them here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Another group out of Brooklyn, New York, started recording back in 1962 with the releases on the Trans Atlas label, also on the Shelley label. And then Fred Kaplan, owner of the Cape Record Store located in Brooklyn, New York, he created a label, called it Cape Records, and signed this group to the label. And here's the second of two they released on Cape Records. It features Robert Burton on lead. This one from May of 63. They're called the Cacti's on the Cape label. Their cool tune called Girl in My Heart.
Ding a dong a ding a ping a pong a ping a ling a long a ling a hoop chop chop ding a dong ding a ping a pong ding a ling a long a hoop chop chop ding a dong ding a ping a pong ding a ling a long a hoop chop chop girl in my heart ding a dong ding a ping a pong I love you so and I never let you go and your girl in my
That's the second of two there on the Cape label for the Cacti's. May 1963, Girl in My Heart is the name of the tune. Used to hear, I heard that one first time on the Norm and Knight Night Train show. Where is Mr. Norman Knight? I'm sure he's still around, but he used to play that one a lot. John G here doing Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's continue here. Posted this one up on my Facebook wall. It's the one with the cool-looking green vinyl and the white label promo on the Galaxy label. Great low rider sound. Came out on Max and Saul Weiss's Galaxy record label out of Berkeley, California. The promos are pretty cool there. Use this green vinyl. The song written by the lead singer. He goes by the name of Eugene Knox. This one from late 1962. Give a listen to Eugene Knox on Galaxy. A pretty rare 45. It's called Miss You.
Miss you, oh, miss you, oh, don't know just what to do. Why won't you hurry, hurry to me? Gee, baby, I miss you. I long to kiss you. I wonder who's with you and how is it you? Miss you, baby. Don't you know that I love you, baby? Can't you see that I want you, baby? That's why I miss you. I miss you. Miss you, baby.
Sounds a lot like Vernon Green and the Medallions' Magic Mountain. Yes, it does. But that's Eugene Knox, late 1962 release on the Galaxy record label out of Berkeley, California. Miss You is the name of that one. John G here doing Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's continue here. Got to predict that Alex, our Thursday night disc jockey, is going to like this next tune. And if he has it on original 45, it's a very expensive one. I think the last one of this sold for like $700 or $800, somewhere in that area, maybe a little bit more. But anyway, we go to Detroit, Michigan for the debut single for this singer. It goes by the name of Tommy Frontera. This is his most expensive 45. He had four more releases on other Detroit labels like Highlight Records, and this one is on the REM label. Let's give it a spin here. Tommy Frontera from 1964. It's on the REM label, REM, and the song is titled After Tonight.
The way you kiss me tonight, the way you held me so tight, I'll never want another love after tonight. After tonight. After tonight. The way you told me that you love me, the way you told me that you care, I'll never want another love after tonight. After tonight. After tonight. You're so pretty, you're so fine, makes me go out of my mind. My head goes spinning, my heart skips a beat. Everybody's saying you sure look sweet. The way you told me that you love me, the way you told me that you care, I'll never want another love after tonight. After tonight. After tonight.
I posted that one there on my Facebook wall last week. I just never got to it. That's a rare 45 for the Tommy Frontera, 1964. After Tonight, it's his debut single, came out on the REM, R-E-M Records. Johnny G here doing Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's continue here for another flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. I played the B-side from this artist from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It was his third release on the Columbia label, a song titled Rainin' in My Heart, tune produced by Terry Melcher. He also produced the A-side of the 45, which bubbled under. This record made it up to number 118 on the Billboard Bubbling Under charts, made it there for 3 weeks, but it was a big number 8 on KRUX out of Phoenix, Arizona, written by Barry Dvorzin and Bodie Chandler. We go back to July of 63 for Mr. Eddie Hodges. Eddie Hodges on Columbia, and his tune called Halfway.
When we have a quarrel, as so many lovers do, why am I the one who must always come to you? Oh, why can't you meet me halfway once in a while? That's all I ask of you. Is that so hard to do? So I tell myself that it's only foolish pride. Still, I let you win, even when I know I'm right. Oh, why can't you meet me halfway once in a while? That's all I ask of you. Is that so very hard to do?
That's Eddie Hodges. That's his third release on the Columbia label. July 63, Eddie Hodges with halfway. He's almost halfway done with Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Well, let's stay in that same month and year, July 1963. I had this record hanging around since February 14th, which I might not have been on the 14th. I had that I Love You show where I played all those love songs. Well, this record was hanging around since then for this group from Philadelphia, PA. Had releases on the Music Makers label, Cheryl, and this label, Atlantic Records. I like both sides of the 45, but this is the intended B-side. They're called The Fortune Tellers. The Fortune Tellers from July 63 on Atlantic. And give a listen to their tune. It's called I Love You, Inca Do.
Think do. Ah, baby, I'm so crazy for you. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. I love you true. And I just wanna stand by you. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. say. Baby, I'm so crazy for you. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Tell me, baby, what you gonna do? When you're around me, you make me feel this way. Baby, I don't know just what to say. But I think of you. Ah, baby, I'm so crazy for you. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Ah, yeah. Kick-a-dink-a-doo. Yeah. What you gonna do?
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called the Fortune Tellers. That one there, July 63, Atlantic Records. I Love You, parentheses, Inkadoo is the name of that tune here. Got a couple more 45s before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. This next group, they hail from Chicago, Illinois, had 9 releases on the ABC, Paramount, and ABC labels between 1964 and 69. Their biggest hits, a song you know, I'm pretty sure, was their second release, a song called I Do, a song covered by the Jay Giles Band sometime in the 1980s. Now, I think Jay Giles, he recently passed away. A few months ago he did, but here is their 6th release on ABC. No. But with their 6th release on the ABC Paramount label, they would change their name to the Mighty Marvellos, but prior to that, they were just known as the Marvellos. Now, here is the B-side to their biggest hit. I'm sure you're very familiar with the hit called I Do, but did you ever flip the 45 over? Because my aunt bought this 45 and she played the flip side. That's why I like it. It features Frank Padden on lead. This one from March 65, the Marvellos on ABC Paramount Records with a B-side, a song called My Heart. B-sides here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Those are the Marvellos, March 65. Flip sides of their big hit, their biggest hit, I Do, my song called My Heart. That one there on the ABC Paramount record label. We continue here for a little bit more. This next singer, she's from Harlem, New York. She was born Doris Higginson, but she would officially change her name to Doris Payne, which was her grandmother's name. Now, her first single came out in 1960 on the Shirley label. She then signed with Atlantic Records in 1963. She had 4 on the Atlantic label. Now, I'm sure you know her signature song was a big hit for her, was her first release on Atlantic. It was called Just One Look. She followed it up with this song, which bubbled under at number 102, but was a big number 10 on WWIN out of Baltimore, Maryland. Let's go back to October of 63 for Miss Doris Troy. Doris Troy on Atlantic with a cool tune, her song called What You Gonna Do About It.
Slowly going on the rocks now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Tell me, baby, what's gonna do about it? What's gonna do about it? I'll love you. Is in double jeopardy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Show me, sugar pie. What's gonna do about it? What's gonna do about it? You know I try to keep you satisfied, but you just won't comprehend. And if you keep on doing what you're doing, you know our love will surely end. Don't you know that I'll love you? You're slowly going on the rocks now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Tell me, baby, what's gonna do about it? What's gonna do about it? Oh, tell me, baby, what's gonna do about it? What's gonna do about it? Oh, tell me. Come on, show me.
That's the follow-up to Just One Look. That's Doris Troy, October 1963 on Atlantic. What You Gonna Do About It is the name of the tune. Unfortunately, that she passed away on February 16, 2004. She died at the age of 67 from emphysema, as we remember her here on the Vinyl Treasure Show and Top Shelf Oldies. 2 more records to go before Johnny G shuts down here. I featured my whole list. It's been a while since I was able to play the whole list here, but I think I haven't played this next record probably since I was a guest. I did my guest spot on the Relics and Rarities show back in August, way back in August of 2005, I think, was the last time I featured this 45. It's from 1965. It's a rare tune on the New Sound label. Now, some of you might be familiar with a version of this song as done by Little Carlton on the Lando label, but it wasn't the original. This is the original, which is a subsidiary of Lando Records, and it's probably how Carlton got the tune. But it was first done by Ed Henry, the Nichols, and 3 Pennies, and this is a cool tune. Ed Henry wrote the song, and it was arranged by Herman Davis. It's from 65, and I know Dave the Rave loves this tune here, so I guess we'll send it out to him. And I don't know, maybe he picked it up by now, but I know he loved it when I played it for him on that special show. But it's Ed Henry, the Nichols, and 3 Pennies. It's on New Sound Records, and it's the original version of a song called I Love Only You.
Yes, I do, baby. I mean it when I say it, dog.
That's the original version from 1965. Ed Henry on lead there. For Ed Henry, the Nickels and Three Pennies on the New Sound record label, a song called I Love Only You. Only that record can cost you 3 pennies and nickels. Anyway, it will not. It's more expensive. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Glad you can join Johnny G listening to cool original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Been recording this one, I think, correctly on the Ustream broadcaster, and I will post this one up on my YouTube site where you can check it out, you collectors out there, those of you that like to look at the labels. I know all collectors like to do that. And also, you can go to my website, vinyltreasures.net, have the show there to stream or download at your pleasure. And we're going to close the show tonight with a B-side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. I played a record on the Orange label out of Oceanside, California, by a group called Little Mike and the Chandeliers. Now, the A-side was called We Promise One Another, very rare 45 out of 1963. It featured Little Mike Adame on lead. Flip side is a lot of instrumentation, a lot of instrumental, really basically an instrumental, but there's some chatter going on, and it's pretty interesting in the background. It's a novelty tune, and it's our closer tonight from 63. They're just known as the Chandeliers on the B-side. It's on the Orange label, and it's called Color TV. And hopefully everybody has a color TV now. That's going to do it, folks, for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the tunes. I enjoy bringing them to you every Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Please tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Raven, his Relics and Rarities show. He's on from 9 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies and all the other shows Monday through Saturday or Sunday here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want everybody to have a safe and happy week, and thank you, Charlene. Last minute research for me. I really appreciate it. I really do. So, folks, everybody have a safe and happy week. I'll see you here next Saturday starting at 10 p.m. for cool 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
And in full color, color TV. That station, man. I like what are you changing? No, it's not like good old Western, man. Change it. I don't like that station. Oh, man, it's too bad. Put it up, put it up. Oh, man, change the station. I don't like it, man. Oh, come on. I don't like it. Now, wait! Wait! That's my color TV.